Hey guys, how you doing? Long time no see. I've been pretty sick this past week, so if I sound a little under the weather, that's why. But I just want to come on here and make this video really quick because I'm pretty frustrated. So honestly, this video is probably more of a rant than it is analysis or actual basketball. Also, I'm going to be discussing domestic abuse and domestic violence, and there will be photos, so if that is upsetting to you, click off this video and watch one of my other ones. So you might have heard today that Kevin Porter Jr. of the Houston Rockets was arrested for domestic violence charges. And we're going to talk about that in a bit, but first I want to talk about Miles Bridges. In case you're super new to the NBA or are out of the loop, Miles Bridges is a young forward for the Charlotte Hornets, and he's actually a pretty good basketball player. And before this happened, he was actually one of my favorite players, until in the summer of 2022, he was arrested for felony domestic violence. He was accused of beating the mother of his 2 children in front of them. He allegedly choked her until she passed out. So, a real upstanding gentleman, Miles Bridges. So, from this, I personally think he's a piece of shit and should never be allowed to play professional basketball again. Weirdly enough, his teammates don't seem to think the same. For example, his teammate, PJ Washington, said this: "I'm just happy he's back here and has the ability to play, especially after everything he's gone through. So, just to be here and pick up a basketball again is just a blessing for him. I'm so excited for him." Yeah, Miles Bridges has really gone through a lot. He beat his girlfriend in front of their children. But he's gone through so much. And I'm not saying that Miles Bridges isn't sorry. From what I've read, people in his circle seem to agree he's very sorry for his action. He's trying to be better. Which, congrats, that's the bare minimum. So what did the NBA do about this, you may ask? Well, he sat out all the 2022-23 NBA season, while his court case was going on. But the NBA hit him with a suspension of 10 games. So basically a slap on the wrist. So I bring up PJ Washington's reaction to Miles Bridges coming back because I want to compare it to how Kai Jones, a young Hornets player, coincidentally, was treated after he went on Instagram Live and acted kind of weirdly. He was all sweaty, he was up in the camera's face, he was just acting very sporadically, and people thought he might have been intoxicated or something of the sort, so they were a little concerned, and it was not a good look for the Hornets. It was not a good look for Kai Jones. It was not a good look for Charlotte. All the Hornets players unfollowed Kai Jones on social media after this. And I say allegedly because Kai could have just blocked them because they didn't want them to see the video or the live stream, I should say. So, we're not 100% certain, but if they did unfollow Kai Jones over this, but are defending felon domestic abuser Miles Bridges and are celebrating his return, that is just so wild to me. That is so insane, and is to me just so inconsiderate to the woman, to the mother of his children, that had to experience that. But welcome back, Miles. Terrible. So that brings us to today, where Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested and charged with assault and strangulation of his partner. Upon arrival, officers were informed that a 26-year-old female sustained a laceration to the right side of her face and was complaining about a pain to her neck. A preliminary investigation on the scene determined that a known individual struck her multiple times upon her body and placed his hands around the neck. And the NBA made a statement today that's basically like, hey, we're looking into it, no comment. So, not a ton of information there. This one's actually a little more interesting to me because, if I remember correctly, Kevin Porter Jr. throughout his entire career has had temper issues, anger issues. He would have outbursts. I think he threw soup on a person in the Cavs locker room. Is that true? Regardless, I think he just has a history of not being a cool-tempered man. So part of me has to wonder, did the NBA fail by just ignoring this for so long? How do we keep letting these players act out like this and hurt people and just let them come back? I actually just watched a video about Josh Primo from AM Hoops. If you guys are familiar with him, I'll link it down below. And he said that as long as you have talent, you will always get a second chance in the league, which could not be more true. I personally think that these people are disgusting. What they did was disgusting, and they have no place in the league. And it is super disheartening to me, as a woman who likes the NBA and basketball, that these players are just allowed back in the league with barely any punishment. Seeing social media's reaction to Kevin Porter Jr.'s arrest was also a little weird to me, because when they found pictures of the woman who was allegedly assaulted, who was actually a former WNBA player. Her name is Kaiser Gondrezick, and I have seen multiple tweets saying things along the line of, how you assault this, but it also reads as, how could you assault this woman? She's so pretty, which then to me kind of trails to, if she were not so pretty, or you didn't find her to be so pretty,
then maybe, you know, it's more acceptable. Which to me is just so horrific and so disrespectful to these women, these victims, allegedly. And I just wish things were different, but that's how it goes right now. So I know this video is in the shorter end, it's a little more heavy, but thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you sticking around. I'll have a more lighthearted video coming out soon, so stick around for that. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.